Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe, that is Adam McCullough, and this is Uncensored, brought to you by Manscaped, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Adam, how you doing, mate? How are you?
I've got something in my eye. As soon as we start, I've got something in my eye. But
What's
I'm
in
very
your
good,
eye?
thank you. How are you doing? I don't know. Maybe it's an eyelash or something.
Maybe it's a little bit of Cheltenham fever that you got from being there the other day.
I haven't got Cheltenham fever now. Only the bookies win.
Oh, that's a shame, innit? That's a shame. We're going to be talking about loads today. I want to go through United's team and work out where we need to spend money, where we need to improve, what we need to do before the start of next season to be challenging for that league title, because that's got to be the aim, man. It's starting next year. Let's just get straight into it. Let's start at the back and we'll work our way forward. Big talking point, a man whose contract runs out at the end of the season, David De Gea. What are your thoughts on him? Do we need a new one? Do we sell him? Do we drop him to
David De Gea,
or does he start? Does he start next season in the number one spot for you?
He shouldn't be starting next season in the number one spot, in my opinion. If you can get him to take a knockdown wage and stay and be part of the squad, maybe you do that. But I think there's a big decision Ten Hag has to make, and I think he's going to make one, and I think it's going to involve bringing in a new goalkeeper. So then it comes down to whether David De Gea wants to stick around and be possibly second choice or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's up to David De Gea. And I think that will come clearing. Because there are, he makes a lot of world-class saves. But he makes a lot of passing errors.
Yeah.
And whilst I think Ten Hag's come out and said, look, he's improving and he's, all these kind of things, I think deep down he'll know. And I think that's something that we can improve upon.
Yeah. I think it definitely is. Unfortunately, it pains me to say it. I saw a stat the other day about his... Well, there's a few different stats, obviously, but I've got a few stats from him here that I want to go through. So this is from FBref, if anyone wants to sort of look into this themselves. But they've got the sort of... the main kind of metrics. So it's save percentage, you've got clean sheets, you've got touches, you've got average length of goal kicks, you've got crosses stopped, defensive actions outside the penalty area, all that sort of thing. And it breaks it down into percentile. So his save percentage, this is just Premier League and just this season, so this is including him sort of getting better at certain things, is in the bottom 40%. So 60% of goalkeepers have got a better save percentage than him. His goals against is in the 50th percentile, which again that's not really him. That's up to the team in front of him as well. But his touches are in the bottom 27%. His goal kicks and the length of his goal kicks are in the top 23%, which means that he kicks it long more than 77% of goalkeepers. His crosses stopped are in the bottom 10%. His defensive actions outside the penalty area, so his willingness to come out of his box, are in the bottom 15%. The only stats where he's above 50% are the average length of his goal kicks, which means he kicks it longer than most, and his clean sheet percentage, which again is obviously somewhat down to him, but also down to the team defending in front of him. It doesn't make for great reading statistically, does it, all that?
No. But also just my eyes.
Yeah.
Tell me that. There was a pass to Lisandro Martinez the other day, and I just thought, what? How physically do you get that wrong with your foot?
Yeah.
Like, it was so weird. It was so weird. I think it was against Betis. And I just thought, what the hell is that? Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of those moments. There are also moments where you go, what the hell is that? Because it's like an amazing save.
Yeah, unbelievable saves, yeah.
But yeah, there's equally as many moments where you're sitting on half of you, you're just scared. So yeah, we need to sort out goalkeeper. It's as important as getting rid of, how when we got rid of Maguire, and it was just like, look at the difference. It's just visible difference. I think that's what will happen.
Is it
when we get a goalkeeper that passes properly?
Who would you like in goal? Have you got someone?
I don't know. I don't have the answers to it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I'm well versed in goalkeepers. I'm not.
David Raya's one, isn't it, that keeps getting mentioned a lot? I think from Brentford. He's obviously
make a lot of handling errors sometimes. You need to try and get that middle ground, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, so we need a new goalkeeper. Yes.
Yeah.
Right back. Dallo, Wan-Bissaka. Are either of them quite good enough? Are they good enough between them? What are your thoughts on that situation?
We've been linked with a few, haven't we? But it depends on how much budget we've got. I can see this one being, because you've also got potentially Ethan Laird coming through. I think it's an area we can improve upon. It's just whether we've got the money to do everything else we want to do, because you'd assume a goalkeeper is important, a midfield is important, a striker is important. So have we then got enough money to go elsewhere? Who are going to be the owners, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We've been linked to like Dumfries, haven't we?
Yeah.
Who else?
That's about it, really, that I've seen. We've seen there's some mention of Jeremy Frimpong
Timber
early in the season. Timber's someone who can play out there as well, but no one particularly.
I think if there's a signing we can get for like Terrell Malacia money, like 20, 25 million, I think maybe we do.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if, because is he going to keep Wan-Bissaka now?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? At the end of last season or the start of this season, it looked like Wan-Bissaka was basically, as soon as we can get someone to buy you, you're gone. And now he might be first choice again. The last few weeks, Dell's not been at his best.
Working hard.
Yeah. So that's one issue, isn't it? Right, let's move into centre-back. Now, we're going to come to the selling and potentially who we can get rid of later on. But obviously, I think Maguire looks to be on his way out, you would have thought. Does that mean to you we need another centre-back? Would you like someone to challenge Varane and Martinez? Or are you looking at maybe another option as a backup in there?
We're going to have to look after Varane.
Yeah.
What's going on with Lindelof? Is he going to be fit enough? I wouldn't mind Lindelof sticking around if he is fit, but you got to still ask yourself that. So yeah, we probably need a centre-back again, probably someone that's young, hungry, can fight, compete for a spot in a team, while also probably not being guaranteed a spot in a team, because I think Varane will still be your number one next season alongside Martinez, but he's probably not going to play as many games. Do you know what I mean? Well, although you'd like to think with Champions League football, maybe it's easier to juggle and rest players.
That's true. Varane turns 30 in April, so obviously will be 30 for the entirety of next season.
And he's retired from international football, which is good as well.
It's good, but it's also a sign that he's having negative effects from playing so much, isn't it? It's good and bad, I reckon.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah. Kim Min-jae, someone that's been mentioned, obviously smashing it at Napoli at the minute. His stats are phenomenal. His passing stats are amazing. His passes attempted, pass completion, progressive passes, progressive carries, all in the top sort of 20%, and some of them as high as 96th percentile for his passes attempted. Phenomenal in the air. All his defensive stats are, in the top 50% as well. But like I said, he's got that excellent passing range, excellent assists for a centre back. Have you seen much of him? Do you like him? Or have you got anyone else in mind that you think could come
I've liked Napoli, but they've got a few players you'd be going for, wouldn't it? Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
If that's how you say it. They've got a fair few talented players, so I'd go for Osimhen if I was going to. You very rarely go and grab. I know we did with Ajax, but you very rarely go and grab 2 or 3 of someone's players, do you?
Especially not Napoli, who are an absolute nightmare to get players out.
They're going to win the league as well, probably.
And they've got rich owners. Do you remember when everyone wanted Koulibaly about 4 or 5 years ago, and you were talking like 100 million, 120 million back when no centre back had ever been near that before. And obviously, in the end, no one bought him until last season. But yeah, he's going to be difficult to get. But we'll get onto that in a minute. Left back, Luke Shaw, Malacia. That seems to me like the safest spot on the team at the minute.
Yeah. But again, Luke Shaw's a weird person, isn't he?
What do you mean? He's a weird person.
Next season, he could just be utter dog shit again.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't surprise me.
That is weird, isn't it? He could be the best left back in the league or the worst left back in the league for a year, not just like week by week, for an entire season, and you wouldn't be shocked either way. I can't think of any player in the world who's like that.
But you're probably looking at that one's probably going to be the same next season.
Yeah,
and Malacia will be a bit better.
You'd hope so, and I think he's been good already, to be honest.
Yeah.
Central midfield then. So here's the current situation. Casemiro's just turned 31, I believe. We've got Eriksen, who will be 31 this season as well, and obviously coming back off this injury, or he's been out for the last 2-3 months. We've got Fred and McTominay, whom one or both of those are probably our best chance of making a bit of money out of a sale this summer, up there with Maguire. Then we've got Sabitzer on loan, and then we'll get to Bruno in the number 10. But in terms of those 6 and 8 role, that's it. Who's going? Who's staying? Do we need someone else?
Keep Sabitzer. Get rid of McTominay.
Yeah.
and sign like a big boy player.
Like De Jong's obviously the one that
Frankie
keeps
De
coming
Jong.
up. Yeah.
That's who I want. I know we keep kind of getting distracted by this Jude Bellingham thing and that. Jude Bellingham's an amazing player, but if I had the choice between Frankie De Jong and Jude Bellingham, I'm going Jude Bellingham, you know.
Really?
I'm going Frankie De Jong, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I want Frankie De Jong.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
I think I just think he's the guy for Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
He's the guy for Eric Ten Hag.
His passing stats as well are incredible, De Jong. Like, these are all compared to other midfielders.
He's what we need.
Yeah, so his passes attempted, pass completion, progressive passes, progressive carries, so he's dribbling as well. His take-ons are all in the top 10% of midfielders across Europe. Like, he's elite on the ball, absolutely elite. His shot creating actions are in the top 17%, so he can play deep, but he can also get up there and sort of help make chances as well. He's not absolutely
his ability on the ball
one-sided.
is so good.
Yeah, he's amazing on the ball.
Can you imagine him just picking the ball up off like Martinez and it's so good, and Casemiro and that. Oh yeah, bring me Frankie De Jong, please.
Spring has sprung, and our friends over at Manscaped, the global leader in below-the-belt grooming, have got the perfect tools for some spring cleaning in your pants. Trust me, your confidence will be blooming like the flowers when you join over 8 million other men in trying Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping using our code Paddock20 at manscaped.com. Now, the link to that is in the description. You've got that. That's safe. But let's get into the details. Now, I'm currently away in Marrakesh on holiday. And if I'm being genuinely honest, I used Manscaped today, this afternoon, to get me poolside fresh. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to get into the gritty details. But all you need to know is, do you know that sound that your shoe makes on a basketball court? That's what sound I make when I rub my smooth body. It's squeaking. It's peaking. Yeah? It sounds like 12 men going at it in a sports hall. Yeah, and that is all thanks to Manscaped. And it's all down to the Performance Package 4.0. Now, what do you get in the Performance Package? You get the Lawnmower 4.0. This is your A to Z trimmer. This is doing the works. Multiple different lengths, multiple different guards. If there's a light on there, multifunction on-off switch. You can also lock it so you can put it in your luggage without worrying about it turning on when you're putting things in the overhead locker. Do you know what I mean? No one wants a weird buzzing sound inside the plane. People think that your sex toys are going off. No one wants that. And you won't have to worry about that with Manscaped. Also, they've got the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. We've got the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant Crop Reviver Toner to make sure that the boys are keeping going throughout the whole day. Lovely scents, lovely smells, little Linctus, little powders here, there and everywhere, making sure that your boys are looked after in a way you could never have dreamed of until now. And the other great thing about the Lawnmower 4.0 is the advanced skin-safe technology, which means, I'll be honest, compared to other trimmers that I've used, where sometimes my boys are looking like a punch bag down there by the time I'm done, you do not have to worry about that with Manscaped. It's also waterproof, so you can clean it easily, and you can do it in the shower or in the bath or scuba diving on holiday in Marrakesh, like I might be doing, if you want to. And also, if you order now, you get 2 free special gifts. You get the Performance Boxers, which are phenomenal in the gym, wicking sweat away, you know how it works. And also the Shed travel bag, which means you can look like your favourite footballer getting off the coach, arriving at Old Trafford for the big game. And all you have to do to get all of that with 20% off and free shipping is use our code Paddock20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping. That is Paddock20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. When Casemiro isn't playing, I think we could do with someone who is a defensive midfielder.
Are we going to get someone
got that defensive position? Almost like Matic, how we got Matic, where his position.
Wouldn't phenomenal. You kind of have Frankie De Jong to cover that position?
I don't know, because Frankie De Jong's defensive numbers aren't great. He's decent and he sits deep and his interceptions
Sabitzer,
are good.
You could go De Jong Sabitzer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I won't fancy that in a Champions League quarter final.
And I think bringing Bruno back into midfield is important. Like, stop playing him out wide on the right and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the next thing then. So number 10, Bruno Fernandes in there at the minute. We've seen Sancho playing there with Bruno out wide. We've seen Weghorst in there. We'll get to the strikers and Weghorst in a minute. Do we need anything extra in there? Do we need a backup? Obviously, Donny van der Beek's another one who could come back.
I don't know. We're not going to get anyone in that position.
No. I don't think we particularly
Let's just be realistic for a minute, innit?
Yeah. No, we're not, are we? That's not happening, is it? All right, then let's move straight on. I think let's do both wings at once because of how Ten Hag plays. You might end up all over the place. Currently, we've got Elanga, Garnacho, Pellistri, Sancho, Rashford, Antony.
Elanga to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Pellistri's... Well, we'll go to...
Pellistri, I wouldn't let Pellistri go. Maybe on loan.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good footballer. I want to see Pellistri possibly sticking around. Mm-hmm. However that looks, I don't know. Yeah. Ahmad as well. Sancho next season is going to be hopefully huge for me. Antony, I think there's disappointment sometimes in his game, but I think a lot of it's being over-egged. I think he's been better than people make out.
Yeah.
So I want to see Sancho, Antony from the right, Garnacho, Rashford from the left. Get rid of Elanga. I think you probably raise some money on that.
Yeah.
Just to we need to sign a striker. Look, so you let Weghorst go back to Burnley.
Yeah.
That definitely needs to happen. You even need one or two strikers, don't you? It depends how you look at it. Like, do you go with Rashford's my alternative, and hopefully Sancho and Antony and everyone else are contributing goals, or do you look to add? I think you add a big striker, like someone that's. If you get Kane or Osimhen or someone like that, they're starting every game, innit?
Yeah.
So buying two strikers, you're not Man City with Julian Alvarez, are you? It's probably not going to happen.
Well, that'd be Martial, wouldn't it? Assuming he can stay fit. Just before we move on from the wing,
I think we need one or two. I'd love Ivan Toney as well.
Just before we move on, strikers. There's a bit of a curveball for you here. If we look at how it's gone this season, and obviously there was sort of unusual circumstances around it, but do you think there's a case to be made that maybe Ten Hag doesn't fancy Jadon Sancho, and that he's one of the few players in the squad that we could actually get a decent bit of money for? I'm not saying that I would get rid of him, but he's barely played him this season when everyone's been fit. Obviously, he had those 3 months away.
I think we've got more to gain from working with Jadon Sancho, because he hasn't shown signs to me that he is a lost cause. Like, if we were thinking down that line.
Okay.
And if you work with Jadon Sancho, I think we'll get the best out of him. And I think we'll start to see that as time goes on.
Okay.
I think if you get the best out of Jadon Sancho, you've got £100 million player there.
Yeah.
If you sell him this summer, you're getting not a lot of your money back.
No.
Or maybe 50%, 50, 60% of your money back. So you've got more to gain by working with him, in my opinion.
Just on the sort of Adam McCullough elephant in the room, Anthony Martial, who you've defended and backed and loved and appreciated.
And I've been proven right this season.
I'm not sure you have, but you kind of have. When he's played, you have. When he's played, you've been proven right.
The fact has been proven that Manchester United are a better team with Anthony Martial.
I don't know if statistically that's true, but also
I'll tell you a quote that Eric Ten Hag said this season.
Go.
Manchester United are a better team with Anthony Martial.
Right.
That's a factor, Mundo.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
He said...
Also, here's a statement for you.
Go on.
If Anthony Martial stayed fit for 80% of this season, Manchester United would have been above City and challenging for the league.
But, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a jolly good Christmas, Adam. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can all say these things. If
Wait, these are facts.
But it's a fact that isn't helpful to Man United, though, is it?
Why? Hold on. This is what,
to Man United.
Why do people go on like I'm the only one that loves Martial? We should all love Martial. He's a fantastic footballer.
No, I like him.
Season. It's exactly like Louis Saha. It's just sad, man. He's just injured constantly. What the hell? Do you know how sad that must be for him? He took a picture with the Carabao Cup with the medical team.
Like him and his boys, wasn't it? It was like me and my mates. Do you know when you see
why are people making fun of him? This is sad.
It is. I'm not making fun of. Oh yeah, I don't think you're accusing me of making fun of him. But Ten Hag, like you said 1 month ago, did say we play our best football with Martial in the side. That is an absolute.
And then he said after that, facts.
He just said facts. But in all honesty, I think it was
sad, isn't it?
I think it was 6 goals the year before last.
I've got what I need out of this
3
situation.
goals last season.
Martial's going to leave United, possibly.
Do you think he is?
And actually, if he stays fit between now and the end of the season, and has a huge impact on the team, there's no way the manager goes, you know what, let's get rid of him.
No.
Especially if you're only bringing in one striker and the other alternative to keep is Weghorst. All due respect to him.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because Martial is unreliable physically. And if you look at his last couple of seasons...
That's a problem, isn't it?
Unreliable on
we
the
all
pitch.
love Louis Saha as an amazing striker, but ultimately made of glass.
But then on that amazing striker thing, because obviously I'm not trying to not dig him here, but in the last 2 seasons up until this season, I think he scored like 10 goals in both seasons
I think
put together.
Season when he scored 5 goals and all that.
Yeah.
That's like, everyone was crap, weren't they?
Right, so that one doesn't count. What about last season?
That don't count.
That don't count either.
Yeah, that don't count.
I think one of the years we finished second when he scored 4 goals.
Exactly.
Not the word I thought you could possibly use there. Right. Exactly.
Would have won the league if he scored 10.
There you go. So we keep Martial.
No, I think you have to look. Being available is a skill. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be available. We've obviously been hampered by his lack of availability this season. I half joked would potentially challenge for the title, but facts are, who knows where we could have been with a fit striker, especially when you look at the form he was in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how good he was working, and how much more he brings out of Marcus Rashford and everyone around him. Everyone can play in their normal positions. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. He's definitely...
So,
yeah.
It's clear we need players to be available, but the thing is, you're not going to buy 3 strikers, 2 strikers. You might get a big one, get them in. If you can get another one, then I think you possibly do that. But the likelihood is we don't, and you then need someone to stick around. And you know what I mean. If you've got a main man playing and you wrap him in cotton wool and keep him fit for 4 or 5 games a month, it's probably better than a lot of strikers you could buy at a nominal fee.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to have huge amounts of money to splash in the summer.
Well, that's what I want to get on to
Especially
next.
if you're spending like 100 million on Frankie de Jong.
Yeah.
And you need to buy a striker, which is another 100 million before you even get to the negotiating table.
Well, let's get into that, because we've been talking about United having to sell players, and we're just going to do a very rough kind of mock-up of a kind of a spending budget here. So I'm going to go through the side. I'm going to give you a player. You tell me whether you think maybe it's time for them to go, and roughly how much you think we'll get for them. And I know this is all very sort of, but it's just fun to have a laugh in it. I think you've said you want to keep David De Gea. Dean Henderson.
Let's get 20 million for him.
20. Okay. Now, Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, we're keeping them both?
Yeah, keep them. They're not going anywhere.
Okay. Harry Maguire, that's been a big one. Rumoured a long time.
Yeah, we'll get 20 million for him.
20? You only think we're getting 20 for Harry Maguire?
25 million for him.
25? I think you're underselling him there. But we'll go with it.
Take a loss, mate.
Yeah, but I think we'll still get 30 to 40 million for him.
From who?
Leicester, Chelsea, Everton, West Ham, Tottenham.
Chelsea have got Thiago Silva, Koulibaly.
Thiago Silva's 50 years old.
But Benoit Badiashile. They've got about 6 centre-backs that are better than Harry Maguire.
Oh, that's hard.
Wesley Fofana.
Okay, maybe not Chelsea then. I think Tottenham would be improved by him.
We'll give them...
Can we say 30 million? Split it down the middle, 30 million.
All right.
Okay. No left backs, we're keeping our left back. Central midfield. McTominay, Fred, Casemiro.
McTominay gone.
Van der Beek, McTominay, what we're saying?
15 million.
15.
Maybe 15 million plus 5 million add-ons.
Plus 5 million VAT. I'll call it 20. I'll call it 20.
Rishi would be buzzing if he hears that's the VAT level. Bloody hell.
That's true. That's true. Fred, we sticking with Fred?
Let's be realistic here. We're not going to get rid of both, are we?
Okay, Donny van der Beek.
He's going to be in pieces.
No, he'll be back.
Let's see what happens. I think his injuries bought himself another season.
Okay. Let's move through the team then. You mentioned Elanga before.
Get 10 million off Everton for him.
I love it. It's definitely Everton as well, isn't it? Everyone knows that it's Everton. You don't even. If
They might even give you 40 million if.
Yeah.
If
you could be the manager of
that
Everton or the owner of Everton, and you still don't have a choice as to whether you buy Anthony Elanga for 10 million quid off Man United at the end of the season. It's just happening. That's it then. Is that the end of your? Is that the end of the outgoings?
What we raised about.
We've currently got 20 had 30 had 20 had 10. So we've got.
We're not going to get any money for Anthony Martial, are we?
80 million.
So I think I think. If Martial stays fit between now and the end of the season, he sticks around as our backup striker. That's how I think that one goes down. Anthony Elanga, you probably get 10 million for him. 15 million for McTominay, 25 million. So you got 50 million there.
Yeah, well, that's 80 million, including Henderson, that we've racked up there.
That's
not a lot.
I went really low ball, and that still all sounds wrong. If we can get 80 million for them four, bloody hell.
I think you're underselling it there. I think we get close to 100 for them four.
You've overestimated them.
Maybe I have, but I've still got faith in these boys.
Right, so much so that you How mad is that? We're going to sell 4 players for the price of a Maguire.
And one of them is a Maguire.
Yeah,
that's the other mad bit, isn't it? I know. United are so bad at selling players. We were talking about this the other day, but as everyone knows, Dan James is our 5th highest ever sale. That's insane, isn't it? Although if you think we got 25 million for Dan James, I think you get more than that for Scott McTominay. I think McTominay can do more for a team than Dan James.
What? When has he ever showed you that?
Oh, don't get me started. Come on. He's had good games for United.
Yeah, against Leeds.
And Man
City.
City.
To Leeds.
He's had good games against City.
Leeds will give you 50 million for him because they get to see the best of him.
There you go. I think Maguire, if you got 25 for Dan James, you're getting 35, 40 for Maguire.
I reckon you might get Scott McTominay to like Celtic or something, but then you're getting no money out of him.
Yeah, then you're getting 4.5 million, which isn't helpful to anyone, is it really? That's no good at all, is it? No. Okay.
Sad times.
All right, so we've got 80 million there. That's all gone on Frankie de Jong, innit?
I'm looking forward to pre-season.
Yeah, dates announced this week. We're looking at New York.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah, Jamie Jackson tweeted it.
Did he?
Yeah.
United tweeted confirmation that they had confirmation that it's in the US. They haven't tweeted it yet.
Jamie Jackson tweeted it.
Okay.
Let me just
double check. What did he say?
So he said, let me just make sure, because United announced US tour, thought to be San Diego, LA, Las Vegas, and the largest of apples, New York City, baby. What do you think of that then? Yellow taxis, Donald Trump.
We're gonna have a whale of a time, aren't we?
All your favourite things. Yeah. You're gonna be looking out for Donald Trump, aren't you? Go full Home Alone 2 on him. Dropping stuff on his face from the top of a building and all that. Like Kevin McAllister.
Can we go to Jersey as well and do the Sopranos stuff?
Yeah, you can do all that. I'm sure you'd love all that. I'm going to be 30 while we're there, I'll turn 30 while we're on the tour. What do you make of that? What are you going to do for me?
Are you coming for the whole thing? Yeah, we're going to do it all again.
I'm coming for the whole thing, baby.
On a whirlwind adventure.
Whirlwind, this time across the States. I've never been to the
West
you know what
we could do?
What?
We could drive to places as well. Oh, yeah, this is going to be so fun, Joe. Basically, everyone subscribe to Stretford Paddock because you don't want to miss it, man. It's going to be wicked.
Going to be amazing. And we're all going as well, I believe. I mean, that's not official yet, but as it stands, we're all, me, you, Steve and Jay are all planning to go there, which would just be so good.
Yeah.
Oh, never been. You're going to have to be our tour guide around LA because I don't know if anyone else has been. I think Steve might have. City
I've come to. You're going to come with me to all the hip hop spots and stuff. Like last time I went to Craig's house on Friday.
Yeah, I'll do all that.
We'll go do that again.
We'll go to see old Craig.
Time.
I don't know.
We'll go to Vegas. We'll go play some poker.
Craig.
You can join my poker world. That'd be a weird.
Are you
thing.
really good at poker?
I'm better than you.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Because give me a hand and I'll tell you what I'll do with it. Just give me 3 cards. Give me 3 cards right now and I'll tell you this is how good I am at poker. Come on.
Do you want me to pretend to give you cards?
Yeah. Just tell me 3 words, 3 different cards that's my hand and I'll tell you what I'll do.
King of Hearts. You don't
Yeah.
have in the poker I play. You don't have 3 cards anyway.
Wait, you're not doing Texas Hold'em?
No,
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
2. Yeah, give me 2. I know the rules. So that was a bluff. First bluff of the day. I thought you had 3
You got
cards.
King of Hearts, 10 of
yeah.
Hearts. What you
Oh,
doing?
King of Hearts, 10 of Hearts. Here's what I'm doing. All in, bitch. And I say that every single time. I'm either all in or I fold. Honestly, I'm the worst poker player of all time because literally, if I've got a bad hand, I just slide it in, I fold. And if I've got a good hand, I go hard in the bets. I can't bluff. I'm too scared. If I've got a double or a triple or a flushy, I'll get right in the money. But otherwise, I'm too scared. Are you good at bluffing?
I got a few through, recently, and it was good fun. Yeah, because you have to be playing live for a while before you start trying to bluff people and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you one of those people
Like,
where you only bluff if you've got like something, or do you ever bluff on just like a 10 high?
I have bluffed because I know people. So when I play at live tables and people know that, me and Rory are there because we're not the best poker players, but because we have, good social followings or whatever, and we do shows with poker stars.
Disgusting.
I know then that comes with a certain perspective. People on the table think I'm going to be a very tight player. I'm only going to play my strong hands. So if I play a certain hand and a board comes a certain way, even if I haven't got, let's say, the ace or the king, I know that I may be perceived to have it because I'm being perceived as a tight player at the
So
table.
they think you're going to be shit.
So then you can do a bluff based off your perception that
Wow.
these guys think I'm only betting strong hands to get it.
That's pretty good. So you sort of start off by only betting your strong hands, and then you can sort of sneak up.
Then you can mix it up a little bit later on
Wow.
because you've been tight early doors.
Do you ever go for a sort of a wicked outfit, like a cowboy hat, maybe a sort of a stick-on Fu Manchu?
I like a little bit of velour.
Yeah. Do you?
You know me.
Nice. There's a lot of velour in the Big Asda at Stockport. Does yours say juicy on the back of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I think you look great in that. A little juicy tracksuit.
You don't think I look great in that?
I'm gonna have a big sort of top hat that's got all American flag on it. I'm gonna go full American.
You're gonna turn up like Don King.
I'm gonna look like Don King. I'm gonna have United States flashing sunglasses. Give myself some sort of seizure or something. I'm just gonna go all out on that table.
I actually think it's a bad idea if we go Vegas because we're never gonna get Jay off the penny slots.
Yeah, that's true.
He loses $5 in like 5 hours.
Jay-
Just there like,
Yeah.
just put yourself out of your own misery and just lose it in one spin.
Jay bets like the money is still the way it was in the year 1600. Jay's betting like medieval pace. Yeah, he's literally like taking £6 out. Yeah. He was honestly, one night after when we were in, where was it? It was Melbourne, wasn't it? He was on the slot machines until like 7 a.m. And we're like, how much did you spend? He's like, oh, only 20 quid. How is that possible? You've been down there for 9 hours and you've spent 20 quid. It's like, yeah, I was trying to chase it back. Chase what back? That's two vodka cokes that you've just spent in 9 hours. And he's like, I couldn't believe it. It's unbelievable. I'm not a big fan of betting, but honestly, it'd be so good to go on that tour and obviously see people and hopefully do some events and stuff and get out there as well. But it's going to be amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing events.
Yes.
As well. So what was it? New York,
San Diego.
San Diego.
Never been there.
A whale's vagina.
LA and Vegas. So if you're going to be out there or if you live out there, let us know and we'll obviously be doing events and we'll be hanging
we'll have
around.
tickets
So we'll see
for
everyone
sale soon and all that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. Can't wait.
Also, I've got a super secret, exciting interview coming out soon.
Oh, lovely. When's that? Do you have a rough date on that?
I don't know. We're filming it next week, me and Jay.
Fantastic. Look forward to that, everyone. Super secret. I hope it's Jeff Bezos and he's going to pay for us to go out there because that would be really helpful. But thank you. Right, that's going to be all from us. Thank you to Manscaped once again for sponsoring the show. The link to that is in the description. Make sure you go and check them out. Again, 20% off and free shipping using our code. So check that out. Thank you, Adam, for coming on, for dissecting Manchester United's team, selling everyone, buying everyone, just tearing it to shreds. It's absolutely despicable.
We'll be selling Joe in Vegas.
No. How much do you think you get for me? Genuinely, how much do you think you get for me? One night only. My wish is your command. Wait, your wish is my command.
We have the catch, like, where some weirdo somewhere would want to spend a night with a guy that looks like Jesus. So we could actually do weirdly well out of this.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Like, Elvis is there in Vegas. Should we get married, Joe?
I'll put the friction in crucifixion. Don't know what that means, but that's going to be all for us. Thank you for joining us. Hit subscribe. I don't know where the friction comes in. Probably, one of the orifices. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a bit.